Step right up and welcome to this explainer. I am the Crimson Jester, and today we're diving into a grim, dark, philosophical fable straight from my own perspective. We're going to absolutely shatter the old world of stagnant tradition, break entirely free from objective reality, and forge a chaotic, self-determined existence. So buckle up, because we are building a new world today.
Let's plunge straight into the ontological void, shall we? Here is our first aphorism from the Index of the Great Star. Reason is but a painted mask upon the face of the nothing. It is the ultimate Apollonian illusion that provides a stagnant peace to hide the purifying silence of the abyss from the eyes of the herd. So what does this actually mean? Well, what we call reason is exposed here as literally just a painted mask. It's this Apollonian illusion designed by society to create a comfortable stagnant peace. Why? Because they want to hide the staggering, empty nothingness of the cosmos from the herd. Sure, it keeps people feeling safe, but it also keeps them completely blind to the terrifying, yet purifying silence of the abyss right beneath their feet.
Section 1. The Prison of Passive Despair. Okay, to really understand this passive despair, we have to look at the kingdom of the spirit of gravity. It's a bleak place, and what keeps individuals trapped there is this massive, monolithic wall of law, known as the absolute not I. It represents external, objective reality. Societal tradition, dogmatic morality, basically everything that demands total submission from your individual consciousness. Now, our fable introduces us to the Knight of Reason. He's a tragic guy who wastes his entire life painstakingly polishing the surface of this wall. He honestly believes it's the sacred architecture of the universe, totally unaware that he's just worshiping his own cage. So, we're presented with a pretty stark choice here. On one side, you have the Knight's state, passive nihilism. He remains a helpless victim of nothingness, clinging to his beautiful cage of ideals while being absolutely crushed by an indifferent cosmos. But on the other side, we have active laughter. And I'm not talking about a polite little chuckle. This is a jagged, metaphysical weapon wielded by the Willinar to reclaim sovereignty in a godless universe.
Section 2. The Jagged Weapon of Laughter.
Let's actually break down what this active laughter does on a metaphysical level within the fable. First off, it shatters the heavy, anchoring weight of the spirit of gravity and its stagnant laws. It just obliterates them. Second, it serves as an ontological deconstruction. It peels back the veil of Maya to expose the roiling Dionysian chaos hiding beneath those painted masks of reason. And finally, and this is absolutely crucial, it is a philosophical declaration of sovereignty over the absolute not I. It proves once and for all that external authority has zero real power over your individual consciousness.
Now you might be wondering, how does this strike actually work? That brings us to the Anschluss. This is a Fichtean concept, and you can think of it as a violent, jagged ontological collision. It's the exact moment where the self hits its absolute limit. In the fable, this is the exact instant my blade of laughter pierces the knight's rigid armor. It forces a terrifying, head-on confrontation with the limits of reality, acting as an unstoppable force of deconstruction.
Section 3. Collapse of the Wall.
So the strike lands. Active laughter hits the absolute not I, and it fundamentally alters reality through this wild dialectical progression. First, we start with the monolithic wall, representing the illusion of reason. Then comes the strike of active laughter, our ontological deconstruction. But here is the magnificent twist, the part I absolutely love. The wall doesn't crumble into heavy stone rubble. No way. It dissolves into mere sawdust. It exposes that the unyielding laws of reason were never solid to begin with. They were just illusions. Now all that's left is chaotic sawdust, which happens to be the perfect raw material for self-determined creation.
This incredible transformation is perfectly captured in the philological transvaluation aphorism. It goes, "Through the gift of the blade, we incinerate the slave morality of the heavens." By collapsing the wall, what the herd called bad is revealed to be nothing but the stagnant ice of a piteous, fearful peace. And good, the actual true good, reverts right back to its ancient noble origin as a strong, chaotic, and totally life-affirming flame.
Section 4. The Monstrous Synthesis.
So what happened to the Knight of Reason? Did he just perish when his sacred universe turned into sawdust? Actually, no. The sheer shock of the Anschluss acted as a catalyst to ignite his self-awareness. This led to a profound evolution, the monstrous synthesis of the proto-Übermensch. He doesn't just throw reason in the trash. True mastery means you don't engage in a sterile denial of your Jungian shadow.
Instead, you wear the cracked vessel of reason on the outside while harboring the wild creative fire of the Dionysian abyss on the inside. You literally become a walking contradiction, burning with chaos right in the middle of the wreckage.
This synthesis is a total game changer for the will to power. To a passive nihilist, the void is just a grave. It's a suffocating, terrifying reaction to a silent cosmos. But through active laughter, the void is transformed into a throne. It becomes the ultimate, limitless canvas for self-determined creation. You're no longer buried by nothingness, right? You rule from it.
Section 5. The Sovereign Architect. Having completely shattered the absolute not I, you step into a domain of active nihilism to become a sovereign architect. You've survived the death of all idols, all those old walls, and all external truths, just to become your very own divine lawgiver. In this state, that suffocating prison of external law becomes a chaotic playground. This is where we embrace the play of the child. Instead of crying over the fallen wall, you dance on the grave of those old ambitions. You take the rhythmic, terrifying sounds of the world's collapse, and, just like a child lost in pure creation, you turn them into a new, harmonious music entirely of your own making.
This whole journey culminates in our final aphorism today. The absolute Ich posits its own existence independently of gods or kings. It rejects the must of destiny to embrace the play of the child within the seventh solitude. The absolute Ich, the ultimate sovereign self, declares its own existence completely independent of gods, kings, or objective laws. It vehemently rejects that oppressive must of destiny. Instead, it embraces the play of the child, existing perfectly within the seventh solitude. That is a state of ultimate freedom, active creation, and joyous defiance against the void.
As we wrap up this explainer, I've got to leave you with a direct challenge from the Jester's Fable. Look around you right now. What monolithic walls of law, what dogmas, what societal expectations are you blindly polishing in total submission? Are you content in your stagnant peace? Are you finally ready for the Anstoß? Are you ready to unleash your own active laughter, turn those walls to sawdust, and seek your own seventh solitude? The void is waiting for its architect. See you next time.